Hi everyone, my name is Abhiraj Garakapati. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amazing Abhay. Episode 5 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 4 is not a pure action episode, it is a political setup episode, but with enough comedy, character reactions, and tension to make it feel more alive than a simple meeting chapter. The main idea is very clear. Rimuru is no longer just a powerful monster leader. He is now a ruler who has to deal with trade, treaties, foreign powers, noble families, and people who want to manipulate Tempest through diplomacy instead of open war. That shift is important. Earlier enemies attacked Rimuru directly. Now the threat is more subtle. They are using money, contracts, reputation, and politics. So the episode is really about Rimuru realizing that his next battlefield may not be a battlefield at all. It may be a negotiation table. The episode begins with the larger world opening up again. Tempest is growing. The labyrinth is becoming a major attraction, and more adventurers, merchants, and political groups are starting to move around Rimuru's nation. This is one of the strengths of Tensura. The story makes the country itself feel like a character. Every new road, shop, dungeon floor, trade route, and diplomatic connection matters because they all increase Tempest's influence. But that influence also attracts jealousy. The more Rimuru succeeds, the more other powers start paying attention. Episode 5 uses this atmosphere to show that Tempest's prosperity is not just a reward. It is also a provocation to people who already control trade and power in the West. One of the big themes of Episode 5 is Rimuru's economic ambition. He is thinking about trade routes, business opportunities, and how Tempest can become a central hub for the world. That might sound less exciting than a demon lord battle, but it is actually a huge part of his rise. Rimuru's real power is not only his combat strength, it is his ability to create a place where people want to gather, work, trade, and live. The episode makes him feel almost like a fantasy nation builder. He sees potential everywhere. A road is not just a road. A merchant relationship is not just business. Each connection becomes another way for Tempest to grow stronger without needing to conquer anyone by force. The lighter part of the episode comes through the clothing and city scenes. Rimuru and the others get moments that feel playful, stylish, and almost slice of life. The famous poncho-like outfit becomes one of the memorable visual jokes of the episode, because Rimuru looks both adorable and oddly dramatic at the same time. These scenes may look small, but they do something useful. They remind us that Tensura is not only about wars and demon lords, it is also about culture. Tempest is building style, markets, entertainment, and identity. The world feels more lived in when characters are not only fighting, but also shopping, laughing, reenacting to outfits, and enjoying the civilization they helped create. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Abhay grow naturally. The episode then shifts into the serious side. Diplomatic discussion. Rimuru enters the negotiation space with the attitude of someone who wants cooperation, but he is not naive. He understands that behind polite words, everyone has an agenda. This is where Episode 5 becomes interesting. The people across the table are not throwing fireballs at him. They are testing him through conditions, wording, pressure, and political traps. The meeting scenes make it clear that Tempest's future depends on whether Rimuru can read the room as well as he can read an enemy's attack pattern. In a way, this is a different kind of duel. Nobody draws a sword, but every sentence can become a weapon. This is also where the episode starts building the conflict around Maribel and the Western powers. The tension is not simply that they hate monsters. It is more complicated. Rimuru's success threatens existing systems. If Tempest controls trade routes, attracts merchants, and becomes a trusted partner, then older powers lose influence. That is why the conflict feels like business disguised as politics. Maribel's greed contrasts directly with Rimuru's growth. Rimuru wants prosperity, comfort, and a better life for his people. Maribel wants control, profit, and advantage. The episode does not need her to be physically stronger than Rimuru to make her dangerous. Her danger comes from the fact that she understands how to turn the world's greed against Tempest. Granbell and Maribel's side adds another layer to the episode. Their relationship gives Maribel more personality than just being a greedy young antagonist. We see that she has loyalty and affection toward her grandfather, and that makes her more than a simple cartoon villain. At the same time, the episode uses her to represent a type of enemy Rimuru cannot defeat by simply showing overwhelming magic. Someone like Maribel works through networks, contracts, families, and hidden influence. That makes her arc feel slower, but also important. She is not here to overpower Rimuru in a direct fight. She is here to show that Rimuru's nation can be threatened through systems, not only soldiers. The negotiation scenes reach their strongest point when Rimuru finally loses his patience. This is one of the most memorable parts of episode 5 because Rimuru is usually calm, playful and diplomatic. When he gets angry, it means something has crossed a line. The episode seems to frame the contract terms and the political pressure as intentionally provocative. The other side is not just negotiating hard, they are pushing Rimuru to react, and when he does react, the room changes. The gentle slime ruler suddenly reminds everyone that behind the cute appearance is a demon lord with terrifying authority. This is the moment where the episode becomes less about paperwork and more about presence. Rimuru's anger is important because it shows how protective he is of Tempest. He can tolerate inconvenience. He can tolerate political games. But if the terms insult his people, threaten their dignity, or try to reduce Tempest to a tool, he will not accept it. That is the emotional core of the episode. Rimuru's nation building is not only about making money, it is about creating a safe home for everyone who trusts him. So when the meeting goes too far, his reaction becomes a ruler's warning. The scene also works because the people around him understand what it means. Some are shocked, some are amused, and some probably realize that provoking Rimuru may have been a terrible mistake. The supporting cast reactions make episode 5 more entertaining. Benimaru trying not to laugh, Shuna being unexpectedly sharp, and the others watching Rimuru's mood shift all give the episode personality. These small reactions are why Tenshira's meeting episodes can still be fun. The main plot may be diplomatic, but the character chemistry keeps it alive. Rimuru's subordinates know him well enough to see when he is trying to remain composed and when he is about to explode. That gives the scene a comedic edge without weakening the tension. It also reminds viewers that Rimuru is surrounded by people who are not just followers. They're family, allies, and witnesses to his growth. As a review, episode 5 will probably divide viewers. If someone watches Slime mainly for big fights, this episode can feel slow because it spends time on trade, fashion, politics, and contracts. But if someone enjoys Tenshira's world building, this episode has a lot to offer. It shows how Tempest's rise affects the wider world, introduces stronger political friction, develops Maribel's position, and gives Rimuru a rare moment of visible anger. The pacing is calmer, but the purpose is clear. This is not filler. This is the story laying the economic and political foundation for a larger conflict. The episode is less about immediate danger and more about showing why Tempest's success is starting to make powerful people uncomfortable. The ending feeling of episode 5 is that the board has changed. Rimuru is no longer being judged only as a monster, a demon lord, or a military power. He is being judged as a political and economic force that can reshape the balance of the West. That is why this episode matters. Maribel's greed, Granbel's influence, the contract conflict, and Rimuru's anger all point toward a bigger confrontation ahead. The episode may look calm compared to a battle arc, but it quietly raises the stakes. The next enemy may not charge at Tempest with an army right away. They may try to corner Rimuru through trade, negotiation, and manipulation first. And episode 5 shows that Rimuru is willing to play that game, but only until someone threatens his. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Amazing Abhi. Subscribing makes sure you do not miss the next video, and it gives me motivation to keep improving the quality of every upload. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.